3 years ago, a team of like-minded people had an idea to create a digital world that would open up access to endless possibilities for everyone. It was a historical moment when DigiU, an international IT company, was born. Today, DigiU is an ecosystem that creates cutting-edge developments in blockchain and artificial intelligence. Our goal is to make people the main beneficiaries of modern technology. Today, DigiU covers 184 countries worldwide, 133,000 partners, 12 languages. Technology solutions offered by our experts are ahead of their time. They become the foundation for the creation of our digital world. The DigiU Blockchain Lab regularly wins prizes at international hackathons and participates in large-scale events. The DigiU.Wealth product, which generates monthly profits for its investors, has been operating successfully for 2 years. In 2021, we obtained a patent for the DigiU.Voice technology development. We are actively developing our venture capital business by entering into partnerships with major international companies and offering support to promising startups. We have already defined our venture fund development strategy for the years ahead. By implementing the cross-chain data protocol, AVA, we have established partnerships with major blockchains, companies and funds: PR Capital, G1 Ventures, Near Foundation, Metis, Algorand, Polygon, Aurora, XDAO and other market leaders. The first potential unicorn of the ecosystem and revolutionary DeFi product, AVA, has entered the technical mainnet. International trips have led to a huge growth in the number of partners. In 2022, DigiU conducted a number of roadshows and visited countries with the most active partners: Indonesia, Vietnam, and India. DigiU ecosystem investors have already received dividends 4 times. We pay them out regularly, twice a year. We have created an educational platform, DigiU.Education. The platform provides education in the most relevant knowledge of the 21st century. And this is just the beginning. DigiU successfully achieves its goals, and we are taking it to the next level right now. Most importantly, we are one step closer to creating our own digital reality, the DigiU metaverse. In this world, everyone will have access to the best education, be able to adopt the advanced knowledge of the existing experts, work in international companies, communicate with anyone without language barrier, and travel anywhere in the world. All this is possible thanks to our professional team and our partners. We thank everyone who shares our aspirations and has helped the DigiU ecosystem grow stronger every year for the past 3 years. Create a new world with DigiU.
Dear friends, investors and partners, I welcome you to the conference dedicated to the DigiU ecosystem's 3rd anniversary. Today, the founders of the project will speak to you. We will talk about how this year went for the ecosystem, what we achieved, and what plans we have for the next few years.
Hello, dear partners and users of the DigiU ecosystem. Today, we will discuss with you the results of the year 2022, and I will share some thoughts, how we look to the future, why current events inspire us, what we think about how the challenging year of 2022 has gone, and how our ecosystem is evolving. I'm sure you have seen, heard, read, and know that 2022 is a year of tremendous geopolitical shifts. Relations between countries are changing. Economic links are changing. Sanctions are being imposed. And some conventional narratives are being reversed now. And everything happening is essentially black swans for us. Events that could rarely have been predicted and whose probability of occurrence was seen as highly unlikely. On this point, I want to tell you that DigiU has been going through such events for almost 3 years now. You all know that during the first year of our project's existence, 2020, there was a COVID pandemic, and we had to work in entirely different conditions, far more unusual than any investment projects. And we have approached these issues in a very different way during that time. We believe that every moment that at first glance seems complicated pays substantial dividends. The question is how we deal with it. The changes in the economy and the sanctions have naturally affected the way we operate. We have had to change our cash flow mechanisms, change our business processes, and take a different approach to compliance in terms of legal clearance of what we do. But I can say that in the lifetime of our project, we have never been as strong as we are now. When any team is faced with unpredictable events, by and large, there are only two main ways forward. The first one, these events have an extremely negative impact, and the team stops being a team. The second option is for the team to look at any future difficulties differently after going through them and become stronger, more receptive, more adaptive, and with more drive and enthusiasm to use any difficulties as the ones that makes us stronger. For example, we stated many times and did activities to register securities that would allow entry into the DeFi market and enable ordinary investors to generate returns in the decentralized finance market. And we've done this work. It was finished in the summer. After having completed it, we found that since sanctions are in place, since the movement of funds between different jurisdictions is much more complicated than before, it is no longer relevant. On the one hand, it is complexity, and its resources aimed at something that is not working now. But, on the other hand, I can tell you that never since the events of February and March 2022, never before we received so many questions about how to work with cryptocurrency, how to enter the DeFi market, how to farm, how to borrow assets, what projects to invest in. People, faced with the new restrictions, looked at the cryptocurrency market in a completely different way and took a different view of what we've been saying for years. If it's not your keys, it's not your money. We used to be evangelists, the innovators, who talked about how the new financial system is fairer, more natural, cheaper, with more freedom to move funds of capital, talents, resources, and all the things that make our society full, abundant, and allow us to grow. When big problems are not quite so close, we don't need to be prepared for them. But this year has shown that much of our predictions, fears, and excitement about why people would use this technology turned out to be true. So blockchain is now even more essential. And why? Because of the blockchain industry, the cryptocurrency market is currently being watched and entered by much more conservative people, replacing innovative people. These people love anything new and will try it no matter how necessary it is. People who are pragmatists, who in everything new take only what helps change their life here and now. And that is very, very inspiring. Consider another example. Everyone knows that the cryptocurrency market is in a correction phase right now. Some people call it crypto winter. And the crypto market has corrected quite seriously from its highs reached in mid-November 2021. But despite this, a product of the DigiU ecosystem, our DigiU Wealth Farming Fund, keeps working and continues to earn and show returns that significantly exceed the returns obtained in conservative instruments in conventional financial markets. We continue to make returns that significantly exceed the figures seen by investors in conventional financial markets in conservative instruments. And this is even though we are going through crypto winter. The second factor I would like to give you how complexity can be used to your advantage is the following. This is a time when the cryptocurrency market is in crypto winter. There is less money and there are fewer projects. But those projects that are still in development and are still pursuing their plans now will come out of this period much more robust, resilient, and with complete products. So when will the market bottom out and turn around? I will point it out right away. I cannot tell you when it will happen. Maybe the market has already passed the turning point. It may likely happen within the next few months. But the question is that the demand for this technology has not changed. New people are coming in. More conservative people using exactly what is needed. Moving capital, making money from farming, being able to use their funds without asking for any permission. These are simple, straightforward things that people with a pragmatic mindset use. The applications we use work even during the crypto winter. Decentralized banks still accept collateral and issue loans. Decentralized exchanges already exceed centralized exchanges in terms of turnover. And insurance protocols still work. Various NFT projects are using the current market phase to find applications and become incredibly successful and profitable in the next phase of market development. I believe that we are going through a time for the market that had to come. For there to be only those who believe very strongly that these technologies will change lives. Only those who will continue to develop and continue to deliver value to people. And we think we are one of those projects. Our farming fund continues to work, earn, give returns to investors, and pay dividends to all of our partners out of commissions. There are several things that make me and our team optimistic and enthusiastic about the future in this situation. The first is that pragmatic people are entering the market. And it's these people and their needs. They want to receive services they cannot get from traditional brokers, banks, and payment systems. These people will drive the next bull run, the next market upturn. We have gone through several of those stages. This is about the sixth market correction since Bitcoin was created. There will be a next one. But before that, we will see some new heights in this market. Another spike when everyone will say, well, it's too late now. We should have done it earlier. But no, you have to do it now. You have to join strong projects now. Invest in them. Study this technology and look at the future through the prism of new actual finance. And secondly, why I am very optimistic about our prospects? Because as a team, we have already gone through two black swans. We have seen COVID. We have seen a vast pandemic when countries were shut down, when many people couldn't even go outside, when it took a tremendous effort to rebuild the usual processes for society to continue functioning. And we also survived the year 2022. Yet, despite all these high-speed and unpredictably changing inputs, the team was able to continue the work, continue communicating value to our clients and investors, and continue developing the ecosystem. This team is unstoppable. So, friends, we are in an incredibly complex, unpredictable, and fast-changing world. But you are in a good company, in the company of DigiU. So stay with us. It will be fascinating. And we will ensure our investors know that it was the best decision of their lives to join the DigiU ecosystem. Thank you very much. Hello, dear partners and investors. Today, I would like to sum up the results of the past year for the EVA project with you. I would like to note that in general, it has been a successful year for us, although not an easy one. We made progress in many areas, such as, for example, participating in international conferences and communicating with international and venture capital funds. Also, we have been to major events, such as Token 2049 in Singapore, Consensus in America, and so on. We have held many talks with venture capital funds, despite a relatively poor market and the collapse of a large number of players. We, on average, hold 3 to 5 talks a day with different funds, with various potential partners. We sign a lot of partnership agreements for the future. For example, with blockchains like OKEx chain. Also, we have a strategic partnership with Aurora chain. We participated in a conference called NearCon, which took place in Lisbon. Also, in terms of the technical team and development, we rebuilt processes, set up stable releases, and strengthened the team despite poor market conditions. As a result, we have launched in the technical mainnet, and all of the functionality is already working there. You can check it out. Using our technology, you can exchange stablecoins between each other, between different networks. Also, you can buy and sell various cross-chain tokens. The token bridge is also in operation, and we plan to go commercial next year, carry out security audits, and attract more liquidity, partners, users, and customers for our solution. And we are introducing quite a unique solution in the market. What exactly will we do next year? First, we will launch the possibility of cross-chain listing for projects, similar to how they can now list their token on a centralized exchange and trade it, and, for example, withdraw the token into different blockchains. So if a project has such a need for a centralized exchange, it is possible. And we will do the same thing, but only for the decentralized version. So a project will be able to list its token on our DEX, on our decentralized exchange, and will be able to provide the ability to trade that token across multiple blockchains. We believe that this use case will be very much in demand. We have had a lot of discussions with our potential clients, and everyone is looking forward to this functionality, waiting for us to complete the audits to start using it. And we believe that this is one of our unique competitive advantages, allowing us to create a market in which we will have virtually no competitors. Of course, we understand that many players are already in the market. Still, there is a particular specialization among them, and we are choosing our niche in which we will have the minimum number of competitors. I believe this technology will be in demand 5 years from now, for example, and beyond, because the number of blockchains continues to grow steadily, and blockchains used by private companies or governments are being added to the startups with venture capital funding. And the penetration of this technology into our daily lives is inevitable. It is no longer a hypothesis that maybe in a few years it will be used. It's already a fact. Many governments are creating digital assets and digital currencies right now. It's all blockchain-based, and it's going to be adopted on a mass scale. And as the number of blockchains grows steadily, one way or another, the number of uses for them also increases. And the number of cases in which it's necessary to communicate between blockchains in some way is growing. And accordingly, the demand for data and liquidity transfer protocols will only increase. And, let's say, in the crypto and blockchain markets, as a rule, the most decentralized solutions win. Everyone knows, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are the most expensive and the largest in terms of the number of users, liquidity, and so on. Since they are blockchains that cannot be stopped, it is impossible to cancel transactions on them, which is the key. For cross-chain, this is also, in our view, an essential thing to have, because more than $2 billion has been lost by cross-chain protocols in the last year. Quite a high price has already been paid for security. And, in the case of cross-chain, when we talk about security, we are talking about decentralizing this solution, because a centralized solution will never be secure. I think you have all heard about the recent collapse of one of the largest centralized exchanges, FTX. And investors lost $8 billion, which was spent on something unknown. This is the problem with all centralized systems. There is always the possibility of losing your money somehow one day if you use that system. That's why our focus for 2023 is, first of all, to go into commercial operation. Secondly, the transition to full decentralization of the entire system. And we are thinking about this road in terms of architecture. Of course, at the very start, more control from the development team is needed. But to ensure the solution's security, this control needs to be decentralized, so that the development team cannot directly influence the full functionality. And then, this solution will be one of the safest on the market, and we will find our market share and customers. And I thank you for your support, and I thank you for staying with us. Believe me, we are working hard to meet your expectations. Thank you for your attention.
2022 has been a challenging but incredibly successful year for the DigiU ecosystem. And now Sergey and Boris have spoken to you about the projects they are engaged in. But all these incredible technical and technological achievements wouldn't have been possible without our partners. These are the people in whose minds and hearts the mission of our ecosystem has been spreading for 3 years now. Any person in any country should be the main beneficiary of all modern technologies. And so far, we have more than 130,000 registered partners in our ecosystem, more than 15,000 of whom have become investors. And these incredible figures show that our mission and the complex technological products with which we implement it are clear and in demand in every country of the world, regardless of cultural, political, economic, or other differences. And now, I would like to pass the word on to our partners and find out how the year went for them.
Hello, dear leaders. New information and communication technologies are everywhere. They have become part of everyone's daily life, changing how we live, think, search, get information, work, and even consume. Moreover, they underpin the development of economic entities. The DigiU project is an opportunity that brings together all modern technologies: artificial intelligence, blockchain, metaverse, decentralized finance, and NFT. And also, the project has been paying regular dividends to its shareholders for already 3 years. Dear DigiU partners, be enthusiastic about this project, because all cutting-edge technology is magic. We are the future. Happy birthday, DigiU! Happy birthday, DigiU! And happy birthday, DigiU! Hello, my name is Patra Andraji. Today is a special day for DigiU, because today is DigiU's 3rd birthday. So first, I'd like to say, happy birthday, DigiU! And I'm delighted to be working in this company. I'm working there since the 1st year, and I like it very much. That said, I'd like to point out that DigiU is a project that helps you understand financial and technical issues. What exactly is DigiU? In many of my videos, which you may have watched, I have looked at the DigiU activities. And today, I'm going to tell you a little about what DigiU means to me. So 3 years ago, in December 2019, the story of DigiU began, and I joined in September 2020. When I started, the company didn't have any employees in India yet, and didn't have any investors. There was nothing. I just liked the project, so I bought some shares and kept them on my account. Gradually, however, I realized that DigiU was an excellent company. It was growing rapidly, and then I started promoting it. Of course, before started working with DigiU, I checked the company's documents and all the legal points. Then I started promoting it, and gradually Indians began to come to the company and invest in it. The company, as it developed, appointed me as its representative, so I must have helped in some way. And working here in general is excellent, because the whole DigiU team is outstanding. It is unlikely that I would have met as good people as I have met here if I had been doing other activities. Everyone treats each other with love, with respect, and you can feel it. So I have had a good experience working at DigiU, and thanks to DigiU for that. And I would like to say that DigiU is a company of the future. So if you buy shares in this company now, in my view, it can help you a lot in the future, both financially and in understanding technology. So the further development of DigiU will be beneficial to you. So what else is there to say? You all know everything. In conclusion, I will say one thing. I was, am, and always be with DigiU. As long as this company doesn't make history, I will stay with it and continue to work towards that goal. Hi friends, I'm Do Van Tam, a DigiU representative in Vietnam. I'm 36 years old and live and work in Tan Hoa, home to the historic Ham Rong Bridge and many famous monuments and sites. The people here are hardworking and eager to learn. When I got to know DigiU, I was attracted by the combination of the company's desires and aspirations. To create a digital copy of a person's identity, to enable even the most ordinary people to become owners of the most modern technology, and to profit from its commercialization. For this reason, I decided to become an investor and partner in the project, and share it with the community. I did serious research before making this decision, and I am confident in the working methods, directions, feasibility, and the possibility for the community to get involved and for the project to succeed. Joining DigiU has helped me change my investment mindset and concept of capital, learn how to make money from capital sources, and understand the limitless developments in science and technology and future trends. The digital world is helping us to overcome the boundaries we used to see only in science fiction films. But soon, thanks to strong developments in science and technology, computer systems and DigiU software, together with artificial intelligence technologies, will help humanity achieve immortality in a digital space. In a space where everything will be better. We will be able to meet each other more often and efficiently than in other place or time. Thank you to all of you, my friends and partners, supporting and following me. Thanks to the DigiU team for providing these fantastic opportunities to me and everyone else. I wish you all the very best. Happy birthday, DigiU!
In 2019, we were among the first to talk about creating a digital copy of an individual and the environment for its existence. This is now called a virtual world, or metaverse. And every year, the tech giants are getting louder and louder about the fact that everything is moving toward full global digitalization, in one way or another. And every major technological giant is creating its virtual world, its own metaverse. And it's a word that surprises no one anymore. And we are very proud that 3 years ago, we were the very people who saw this trend and started to develop the ecosystem in this direction. And 3 years later, we have come a long way and seen even more new trends and directions, which will be relevant in a few years. And now, Peter and Alexander will talk about these trends and the directions in which the DigiU ecosystem and perhaps the entire world will develop in the next few years.
Hello, dear friends. My name is Peter Tagunov. I'm the CTO of DigiU and Ava, and the architect of the DigiU system's virtual worlds. I'm happy to welcome you today in this beautiful city. The year 2022 has been very busy, eventful, and rewarding for our entire team. The main assumption we have been able to confirm is the inseparable link between metaverses, virtual worlds, artificial intelligence in general as a trend, and blockchain, not only as a technological platform, but as the future foundation for all the virtual worlds humanity can create in the future. As a result of our activities, I can mention Ava, a large infrastructure platform we have successfully launched in the technical mainnet. And soon, it will go into full commercial operation. Implementing such a project enabled us to attract many partners in the blockchain and artificial intelligence areas. These teams will be involved in the Ava platform and DigiU ecosystem. They will bring in projects such as GameFi, Metaverse, and economic and social activity projects. I am confident that we are on the right track and that the results we have already achieved show our expertise and our world-class team. And I'm sure that what we have managed to implement this year will serve as a solid foundation for the development of not only the DigiU ecosystem, but also the entire artificial intelligence industry and blockchain in general for the coming decades. Thank you for your attention. Hello, dear friends. I'm happy to welcome you here. Today, I would like to summarize the results of this year and tell you about our strategic plans for the future. Of course, this year has been a challenging one for many. The world is going through geopolitical changes, and some markets, especially those in which we operate, are in decline. And of course, this is affecting us, and we have to do a lot of work that we wouldn't have to do in growing markets. But there are advantages to that. We have become stronger. The current situation has eliminated many projects with few solid technological solutions. Unlike such projects, our ecosystem and the Ava project have shown stable development all year. We have already become known and visible. We have attended many international conferences. So if you visit or join any blockchain communities, for example, in different countries, you can probably already ask about the Ava project there, and they will know it. We have already agreed on many integrations with various projects and ecosystems. And we have launched a technical mainnet. And at the beginning of next year, the EVA project will be launched commercially. And right now, we are continuing to attract funding from international venture capital funds. In other words, investors in the DigiU ecosystem are investing in the same projects as international venture capital funds. This is something that we have talked about in our webinars. So, we are providing this opportunity. And the EVA project is vital for us to launch now, because it is an infrastructure project, and the first project with which we have proudly announced ourselves to the global community. And of course, this opens up many possibilities for us. Different projects approach us for integrations. We are contacted for advice because our expertise and understanding of the technology market are very high. We have a global team. It is quite large for startup standards, and we manage to finance it even in the current market, where the biggest players in this market, international venture capital funds and major cryptocurrency exchanges, for example, not only don't feel very well, but many of them are on the verge of bankruptcy or have already gone bankrupt. That said, there are now relatively young venture capital funds emerging that are betting and choosing to invest in the downturn as their strategy. And we are very supportive of this approach. Just like there are markets where people trade some assets, there is a rule: sell at the peak, buy at the bottom. And it's easy to say, but it's usually difficult to do. But there is one fund. The EVA project is now attracting elite investor. It's a relatively young fund that recently invested $15 million in the Binance ecosystem and $10 million in the Ton ecosystem. And this fund is now becoming the lead investor in the EVA project. So we now understand even more, looking at them, that we have chosen the right strategy. And now is the best time to launch our venture capital fund, which will invest in many projects in the current market. Why is this the best time? Because now many existing projects, not just startups, are having problems with funding and liquidity. And with this liquidity and funding, it is now possible to buy shares of these projects, and significant parts of them, for much less money. And in growing markets, receive a much larger increase in the value of these projects and their capitalization. So, one of the main strategic sites or strategic plans for next year is to launch the venture capital fund. I am now in India, where I see huge potential. And I would like to say that now is the best time to launch. Maybe the next 6 months or a year. We are still seeing these opportunities, where we need to raise $20 to $50 million in the venture capital fund quite quickly. And then we can buy a huge number of projects into our ecosystem, attach them and combine them. And you will see dozens of projects appear in the ecosystem over the next year. But of course, for this to happen, we need to accelerate the flow of funding into the ecosystem significantly. And we have all the conditions in place to do this now. We also see great potential in terms of attracting investment from institutional investors as well. That is, we are planning to fill our venture capital fund not only with investments from the DigiU ecosystem, but also from other venture capital funds, from family offices, from private investors who want to invest in this market and who choose the same strategy, investing in a bear market. In other words, when the market is down. So, I proudly and confidently look to the future, because we are one step away from showing and implementing what we talked about in our webinars, that our investors are co-owners, and they will be co-owners of dozens of hundreds of artificial intelligence and blockchain technology startups. With the help of our venture capital fund, depending on how quickly it fills up, we can implement this concept within the next year. So, let's do it together. Let's increase the speed of development of the DigiU ecosystem. And next year, we will discuss not just one project, but 5, perhaps 10, or even more. Thank you very much.
We have made significant progress in these 3 years, overcoming many difficult moments. But most importantly, we have managed to build a stable foundation on which our virtual world, our metaverse, will be built over the next few years. This foundation consists of the technological base, which includes our artificial intelligence lab and the blockchain lab, and the technological developments that we have created over these 3 years form the basis of our operating, revenue-generating products. It is the foundation in the form of a venture capital fund, a business unit that has reviewed dozens, maybe already hundreds of technological teams, startups, and ideas. And we will include many of them in our ecosystem soon. But venture capital fund is not just about selecting startups and investing in those startups and making a profit if they are successful. It is also the great connections we have made during these 3 years. The project has become more visible, and the ecosystem has become more attractive in terms of investments from individuals and traditional funds. People want to interact with us and use our technology. This demonstrates that we are moving in the right direction, and we are successfully pursuing the path we chose a few years ago. In 2023, the main and key factor that is vital to add to our ecosystem is speed. And we will add this factor with the help of the venture capital fund. So this is the unit that will be able to attract to our ecosystem dozens, maybe hundreds of new technologies, teams, startups, and perhaps ready-made technological solutions, which will allow us to build our metaverse and naturally allow us to increase the capitalization of our ecosystem and earn money. Attracting sufficient funding is the primary goal for our venture capital fund for the next 6 months. And it's precisely this approach that will allow us, in the current market, for venture projects, projects in the field of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and other modern technologies, to catch up with this opportunity that is now open. The venture capital fund will be filled through the sale of the DigiU ecosystem shares. This approach makes it possible to maintain the interest of our investors and continue to implement our mission successfully. A mission in which a person in any country in the world is the primary beneficiary of all modern technologies and co-owner of these products. And investing in the DigiU ecosystem becomes the only opportunity for anyone in any country to be a real co-owner of all modern technologies, to receive dividends and other income. And we are giving presents, following a good tradition, to celebrate our birthday. From now on, and until the end of the year, when you buy any package in the DigiU ecosystem, you get a 50% bonus to celebrate our 3rd birthday. I recommend taking advantage of this offer, making your first investment, or increasing your portfolio on the best possible terms before the dividend payout in January 2023. But that's not all for today. We will now show you how we see the world of the future, how we see our universe, which every DigiU ecosystem investor co-owns. Happy birthday, DigiU!
2019, the founders of DigiU create an innovative IT startup and think about creating their own virtual world. Digital identity is put into development. 2021, major international corporations announce the creation of their metaverses, and it becomes a trend. DigiU experts have been working on elements of a virtual personality for the future metaverse for 2 years. 2030, the metaverse is an integral part of the familiar reality. Any inhabitant of the planet knows the DigiU virtual world and enjoys its benefits. The metaverse is a world of the future in which complete freedom is available to everyone. You can travel to any part of the world, study in the best schools and universities, and adopt advanced knowledge from the leading experts. You can work in international companies and meet top experts, communicate with anyone without language barriers, watch the premieres at film festivals, visit ancient museums and attend concerts of your favorite performers. It's a world where you live in peace and security, and all your information is safe and secure. This world is run in a decentralized way, so you can make your own decisions and manage your resources. You can be whoever you want to be. In 2030, DigiU shares are a real digital financial unit of the metaverse. You are its rightful co-owner and profit from the development of this virtual world. Hundreds of startups in the field of artificial intelligence and blockchain. You learn the knowledge that is relevant today. You are surrounded by successful people who share your views. By investing in DigiU today, you are investing in the most promising and fastest growing industry and creating a world where technology works for you. A DigiU investor is a co-owner of the company that creates trends, develops technologies for the future, and enables everyone to be the primary beneficiary of all modern technology. You can create your products or simply enjoy life. But most importantly, you can create a project of your own digital identity. Create your future together with DigiU.